Chapter 2. The tragic childhood of a hero years passed, but Alcmene still did not dare to reveal the secret to her husband. The general of Thebes devoted all his strength to teaching and training his son Heracles, who soon had extraordinary talents. He personally taught Heracles how to ride a horse and drive a chariot. Furthermore, for each important subject, he invited me to have a good teacher. Heracles was well educated, so he soon became proficient in wrestling, weapon techniques, and Heracles also studied music and learned to play the lyre, subjects that did not interest him. So one day the music teacher scolded him for not being diligent. He got angry and threw the guitar at the teacher's head, and he died instantly. This heartbreaking incident confirmed the unparalleled strength of young Heracles. Accused of murder, Heracles was put on trial. Amphitryon decided to let him leave Thebes to avoid any disaster. Furthermore, he thought, Heracles would develop further if he lived in a large space, doing hard work that required good health, mental resilience, and ingenuity. Amphitryon then put his son in charge of the herds on the mountain with his herdsmen. It is true that the general of Thebes made a great decision, because Heracles became stronger, better, and brave. He was no longer unfamiliar with bows, arrows, and spears, and he became a great wrestler. Heracles' bravery was admired by all the animal herders in the area. Not long after, an incident happened that proved this. When Heracles had just turned 18, in the area where Amphitryon raised cattle, an unusually large and ferocious lion appeared. In just a few days, it killed a large number of livestock. Heracles then hid in the mountains to wait for the cruel wild beast. When the lion appeared, Heracles rushed forward, controlled it, and with just one stab of the knife, he killed it as easily as strangling 2 snakes right from the cradle. After this strange feat, Heracles' fame spread throughout the country. He decided to return because Thebes was in danger. Heracles was not allowed to stay in the castle. Amphitryon is preparing to confront an enemy of Thebes. He was Ἐργίνος, ancient Greek. Eruphi, ga, 1 mathre, new 1 o 1 maithre. K4, wrong 3, emperor of the Minyans, ancient Greek. Mu 1 ta3, new 1, ai4, pu 3. New ru 5 xi1, o1 miu. Ki sss, wrong 3 mu, 1 ai4 pu 3. Mu 1 ai4 pu 3 xi1 long 2 new 1. Heracles returned just in time because Amphitryon needed his 2 sons to help him in the fight. Although weak, Iphicles also became a strong young man. Although less talented than his brother, Iphicles still received the same education as his brother, and he has nothing to be ashamed of in preparing for the upcoming big fight. And Alcmene is not used to war. She watched her husband and 2 children go to war, filled with fear. One of them might never return. The truth is certainly like that. The people of Thebes lost their talented general. Seeing Amphitryon dead, the Minyans thought they had won the battle. Because losing a commander is like a chick losing its mother. It is true that the Minyans were a bit hasty when they did not see Heracles' potential ability. Extremely hurt and angry, Heracles boldly replaced his father's command position, leading the army to siege Orchomenus, where Erginos was hiding. In just one night, they overcame the city and burned the whole city. Erginos failed miserably. Heracles' victory could not erase the pain of losing his father and the grief of his mother. Seeing Alcmene struggling in pain, Heracles felt helpless. Since returning to Thebes, his temperament changed completely, and he became more and more grumpy and grumpy. In the past, if Heracles was a happy and enthusiastic person with all that life brought him, now he was only immersed in sad contemplations. The years gradually passed. Even his planned marriage with Megara, ancient Greek. My 4 pu 3 xi1 long 2 ga1 math roof a1 Erythi a3, King Creon's daughter, did not bring him joy in life. It seemed that the gods had decided to test him even more, and it seems that something in his soul left with his father's death. However, his wedding was still very happy. The years that followed were the time that brought him back balance, helping him forget the painful moments of the past. Megara quickly gave birth to 3 healthy sons, just like Heracles when he was young. The children often played with Iolaus ancient Lun 2 mu 5, Da3 A1, Ae3 Phi, O1 mi 3, Ki A4 wrong 3s, the son of Iphicles. In the large garden of Heracles and Megara's house, the laughter and playful sounds of the brothers rang out all day long. Hera has not forgotten her because Heracles had still survived the danger with the 2 snakes. Because his father Zeus had given him extraordinary strength, Hera had only one plan left. She planned to carry out a very scary trick. That was to force Heracles to suffer from his own relatives. Therefore, on the occasion of a banquet held in Heracles' castle in Thebes, Hera sent a woman. It is a creature in human form, capable of making others crazy. Hiding carefully behind the pillar in the hall, the demon woman shot her eyes towards Heracles. In the blink of an eye, he became ferocious and crazy. Heracles stood up from his chair to host the party, pointed at his wife and children, and shouted, "Who are they? Who are they?" Megara was surprised by her husband's sudden change. She could not understand the reason. Megara then signaled her children to come closer to their father, hoping Heracles would recognize them and calm down. But unexpectedly, Heracles immediately drew his bow and aimed the arrow at his children and at his wife, who was trying to rush out to protect the youngest child. His wife and children died immediately. The terrible tragedy plotted by Hera has ended. Heracles suddenly woke up and understood his brutal actions. All night long, he wept for his loved ones and cursed the gods for bringing him such a cruel fate. The image of the unfortunate teacher he accidentally killed as a child kept coming back to his mind. He kept crying and regretting endlessly. Early the next morning, he felt there was no other solution but to leave. Heracles said goodbye to Thebes and went to consult the oracle of Delphi ancient D2, Ea3, Da3, Ai4 pu 3, Xi1, long 2, Len 2 mu, Da3, Fe 4, O1 mi 3 Ki wrong 3, hoping for a way to relieve suffering and find peace of mind. The prophet listened and advised him to go to Tyrann's ancient Greek, Ruf, Ye, E1 pu 3, Xi1, long 2, new ones, to serve King Eurystheus, ancient Greek, Rufi, Yi-pu 3, Xi1, long 2, Xi1, G2, May 3, Xi1, Ta3, Ai4 pu 3, Xi1, long, and he must absolutely comply with the king's demands. When King Eurystheus received him, his words were all Hera's. She continued to pursue her plot to harm. Heracles will have to carry out a mission that no mortal can accomplish. And here are his 12 conquests.